And you can open your final project. Mine is my course content for week 4. Okay, so let's look at the course content right here. Okay, we are moving to the chapter 3. It's about the descriptive statistics. Okay, and it is the part 1. Okay, and it was summarizing and interpreting the data effectively. Okay, let's call the pen out. You want to pen out. Remember, click on the right mouse. Okay, and that's all right here. 指标选项 ，OK， 画笔 right here. OK， 画笔。And let's give an overview of descriptive statistics. Okay, and give an introduction. Okay, for chapter 3, the first one is about the frequency distribution tables. Okay, so the frequency distribution tables organize the qualitative data. Okay, to reveal patterns and summarize clearly. So let me ask one quick question. What is the qualitative data? Nominal, ordinal, interval ratio. Which two? Qualitative data. It's a nominal and the ordinal, right? Nominal and ordinal. Okay. And about the measures. Okay. So the descriptive statistics provide the measures of central tendency and the data dispersion for insightful summaries. Okay. Is anyone learned the step before? If it is a normal distribution, it's like a bell shape, right? Bell shape. So in the middle is a 0. Okay. It's a symmetry. Okay. And number 3 is about the cross tabulation analysis. Okay, so for this analysis, that will examine the relationship between categorical variables to uncover associations. Remember, associations like a double arrow, okay, double-headed arrow, okay, called a correlation, okay. And we will give an explanation on the SPS case, okay? And I'm kind of, are you worried about your data set? I mean, in the Moodle, I put like SRDA 1 and SRDA 9. We have 10 groups, right? So maybe you guys need to think about it. You need to pick out the SRDA by yourself or references my SRDA. Because we only have 16 weeks, right? Today is week 4. We don't have much time to linger on, to choose the data set, okay? So maybe the next today or week 5, think about your data set, okay? Have more discussion about your data set, okay? With a group, okay? With a group. And I will give some guidance, okay? And actually, you don't have to worry about it because I already give you whole picture about the writings, okay? Writings. So actually, you just follow my pattern. You can finish your final project, okay? And the process, okay? Process. So it's focused on the application and interpretation, okay? Interpretation means the explanation, okay? So you have defining the variables and tools. It's right here. Begin by defining the variables and selecting appropriate descriptive statistic tools for data summarization, okay? You have to know the summarizing the data. For example, like measure like a mean, median, and mode. Okay, they call 3Ms. Okay, 3Ms. Mean, median, and mode. Okay, not the company called 3M. We have a company called 3M somewhere between the Taoyuan and Hsinchu. Okay, that's a very famous company called 3M. But in a descriptive statistics, you have to know the first M means the mean. Okay, second one called a median. Okay, in the middle called a median. Mode. Most the numbers appear called a mode. And then the other one is called a standard deviation. Okay, normally you will calculate. Okay, so on the week 4, I put a lot of formula for calculation, but you don't have to worry about that because for this class, you only worry about how to operate. Okay, in SPSS, that will be enough. Okay. And to summarize data effectively, okay? And number 3 is analyzing the relationships, okay? For example, the cross tabulation can do that. They can explore the relationships between the variables such as the gender and the mental health indicators. So that will be 2 variables, okay? 2 variables. Gender normally is qualitative data, okay? And the results of frequency analysis, okay? Actually, this is some examples from my book, my past study. And I did the suicidal, okay? Among the senior high school student. They have six reasons, okay? As you can see, the academic stress dominance, okay? So in my study, okay, they show like 33.1%, okay? They have suicidal thinking, okay? And the other one is called family and relationship stress, okay? It's based on the frequency analysis, okay? So family issues account like 26.8%, okay? And the romantic and interpersonal relationships contribute 15.5% and 13.4% respectively, okay? So the romantic relationship is like 16%, okay? Interpersonal relationship is like 14%, okay? And minor factors and data analysis such as others and economical factors, that will be percent will be low, okay? And that is about the suicidal, okay, tendency among the senior high school back to the maybe 20 something years ago, okay? And cross tabulation techniques, okay? Don't worry about it, I will show you on the SPSS. So on the configuration analysis, you have to know the purpose, okay? Purpose of cross tabulation is examines the relationships between 2 categorical variables to uncover meaningful patterns in data. Remember, categorical data and qualitative data is the same, okay? So under the NOIR, remember, categorical variable covers the nominal and the ordinal, okay? And for the configuration, for example, you set in the A variable as a row, okay? B variable as a column, okay? And defines the structure of data comparison in SPSS, okay? We will go to the SPSS later. And the value range definition, you have to define the range from, like for male is the 1, okay? Female is the 2, okay? Let's give the range value, okay? and that will to do the accurate categorical analysis. Okay. And the analytic insights. The cross tabulation helps identify the demographic differences, okay, enhancing understanding of behavior and psychological trends, okay. Concepts in descriptive statistics. Okay, central tendency and the dispersion. Okay, so you can measure our central tendency. Okay, central tendency is very important. Okay, that will be applied in the country level, school level, class level. Okay, but remember the central tendency includes the 3M. Okay, mean, median, mode, and the sum. Sum is add up together. Okay, summarizing data central location effectively. Okay. And the dispersion measures the metrics like a range. How many of you know the formula for the range? How many of you learned before? Is anyone learn in the high school? Count the range. Anyone remember the formula? If you don't remember, I provided, okay, on the week 4. Actually, it's max minus mean, okay? Maximum value minus minimum value. For example, in this class, I mean, based on your maybe 22 to 24, so the range is like 24 minus 22, so it's like a 2, okay, 2. So it's called a range. Variance, okay, variance. Variance is the model of standard deviation, okay? Remember that, okay? Variance is the model of standard deviation, okay? SD. For the population, sometimes they will use the sigma. If variance is the model of standard deviation, the variance is the sigma square, okay? Sigma square, okay? So standard deviation is the square root of the variance. Okay, you can later on we will see the formula. But lucky enough, you don't have any calculation question, right? You don't have this kind of question. Okay, and for the dispersion of measures, they will describe the data spread and the variability. Okay. Let's talk about the importance of statistical measures, okay? You have to understanding the central tendency and the dispersion is vital. Vital is very important, okay? For interpreting statistics and making decisions, okay? Let me ask you a quick question. So we only have 20-something student here, right? Actually, one is like your score. For example, your semester grade. And look at the board. I put the number 1 as semester grade, right? Right here. Semester grade. So you have to carefully take care of your semester grade. And I put a lot of tabs, right? So let me ask you one quick question. You guys want me to give the distribution like this one or this one? Let's make a vote, okay? Vote. So you want this one, please raise your hand. Let's call the A. Let's call B right here. It's called a tendency, central tendency. Actually, the symmetry I already drew it. It's like a bell shape, right? It's a symmetry right here. I'm not a good drawer, okay? Let me ask a question. You only have one choice. You want me give a score like 8 Please raise your hand. Want A? Anybody want A? You don't want A. How about B? You want a B? Raise your hand. Only one choice. Only have one choice. No between. No between. Either A or B. Let me ask one. No C. No C. No C. Let me ask again. Okay. You want me give your score for this class? Looks like A. Please raise your hand. 1. Okay. 1. Only one vote. Okay. Either choose A or choose B. You want the B? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's more. But am I talking to the air? You know? No. Well, at least 6 people. Okay, 6 people. Have you learned this one before? No. For example, this one right here is like in the middle, right? So it's 50 right here. 50 means what? You cannot go to the United States, right? You fail. And this is a very what? Very high, right? That means a lot of people's score is less than 50 right here. Okay? So you don't want this one. You want this one, right? So 50 is right here. So a lot of people is like 60 something, 70 something. So it will be kind of narrow, right? So actually 90 something, 100 is not a lot, or just few people. They call the dispersion. Okay, so B is the correct answer. Okay, so next time if some teacher asks you, you want an A or want a B, be sure to choose the B. Okay, that means a lot of students pass. Okay, pass, not fail. Okay, pass. Okay, understand? And let's look at the formulas and the tests. Okay, and I put the 4 formulas. Okay, about the mean, variance, standard deviation, so forth. Okay, and for the stats, the hypothesis testing is very important. Okay, so one the table is about the student's t-test. And you have to remember the student's t-test is compare group means. Okay, if in the future, if you do the experiment, okay, they want to compare, say, the effect of medicine. Okay, so they want to see the difference. Okay, especially group difference. Okay, they will compare the group means. Okay. And non-parametric tests are used when assumptions fail. Okay, when assumptions right here, hypothesis tested. One is called a non-hypothesis. One is called alternative hypothesis. H0 and H1. Okay, if fail, the non-parametric tests are used. Okay, and remember, they will have a population in the sample formulas. Okay, which one is bigger? Population bigger or sample bigger? Population bigger. For example, Vietnam is a country, right? And maybe southern part is called a sample. So sometimes you cannot, make a census, survey every country, every people. So they use the samples, like a sampling methods. Okay, that's a lot of sampling methods you can apply. But remember, you have to use like a random select. That will be more objective. Okay, and that will affect the calculation results. Okay. Let's talk about SPSS operation procedures. Okay. And actually, we're navigating SPSS for analysis like a user-friendly interface, okay? And key statistical procedures, okay? The procedure include like independent and the pair sample T's, okay? A lot of experiments will use like a t-test experiment. I had to use abbreviation. Experiment, okay? Independent T means your sample is different, okay? But pair sample T, the sample is the same. For example, in the beginning of this semester, maybe I will give a pre-test of your calculus ability. And maybe up to the end of the semester, like week 16, I will give a post-test. So in that way, you will use the pair sample t-test, okay? And chapter 3 is based on the descriptive statistics, okay? And actually, frequency distribution is one of the descriptive statistics. It's based on the qualitative data. Qualitative data is based on the nominal and the ordinal data, okay? And cross tabulations. Actually, that's a chi-square. I'm not sure you heard this analysis before. They have two variables called cross tabulations, okay? One in the row and one in the column, okay? They may sometimes if the gender and maybe college level is like a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Level 2 times 4, okay? And they have A combination, okay? And for the SPSS, they have dialog boxes and configuration, okay? I will teach you how to use it, okay? So you will select the variables, divide parameters, and configure analysis option effectively, okay? And for the importance of you as a researcher, so right, you understanding SPSS navigation is crucial for you, okay? And us, okay? We are researchers for accurate data analysis and interpretation, okay? Let's go to SPSS, okay? We'll apply the example data and interpretation, okay? Okay, that's another cases. It's based on my past study. So let's go to the SPSS. Okay. So remember when you done with the Camtasia, look at the keyboard. Type F10. Okay, F10.